Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, we have another crazy episode to talk about. First, Alyssa leaves Duncan to face the experts alone. Another couple leave the experiment as we have a commitment ceremony that is the penultimate, which is the second to last one. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia Season 10, Episode number 25. And without any further ado, let's unpack this drama. As we're coming off of the retreat, that whole event certainly shined a light on strength and weaknesses of all of the couples in this experiment. And with everyone living under the same roof, it wasn't long before some members of the group took it upon themselves to give other couples their own expert opinion. But now we're at this commitment ceremony, and the real experts are ready to have their say and give an even more qualified judgment. Okay, first up, let's talk about Alyssa and Duncan. And it's no surprise that Alyssa and Duncan has been struggling during the whole retreat. Now, Alyssa feels like she isn't a priority, and the couple haven't had any success talking about the issue behind closed doors, so they want to try to present it to the experts. Now, Alyssa was explaining to them that because of what Duncan said, which was, well, what priority am I going to be to you? To her, she felt that that was kind of a dig that her child is always going to be her first priority and that he'll always be second. However, Duncan, he assured the experts that that's not an issue for him and that he's happy to maneuver his lifestyle around Alyssa's lifestyle. Now, Duncan doesn't know what else he can do to make Alyssa happy and admits that her high expectations are definitely a concern. Now, when he said that, that criticism was just too much for Alyssa, who storms off into the corridor in tears.
Others will leave everyone.
Just a minute. Sorry,
Do you not want me to come?
She said that she felt sick, and we see Duncan chase her and does his best to try to calm her down, but Alyssa just want to go home. She steps into the elevator, and when Duncan asks if she wants him to come with her, she simply just let the doors close on him, leaving him to return to the couch alone. We hear Alessandra admits that this level of reaction seems a bit intense. Yeah, it is. And asks Duncan what he thinks brought it on. And Duncan was like, well, little things are big triggers. I'm struggling, trying to work through that. It's tough. She's an amazing woman, and we have a great time together. And he's just trying to stretch to be the kind of partner Alyssa needs, but he feel like that he's walking on eggshells, and that's never good. And just as Duncan is finishing his sentence, Alyssa returns and says that it hurts that Duncan says that she has high expectations and that she does need check-ins to feel like they're not going to run away. And even when Duncan leaned in to give her a hug, she kind of pushes back saying, please don't. Now, Alessandra reminds Alyssa that a relationship goes both ways, while Mel warns her that she might be pushing away one of the most emotionally intelligent men in the room. And wanting to work things out, Duncan writes stay, and Alyssa also decides to stay, but under the condition that she can leave the couch immediately. Girl, you are doing way too much. Next up is our favorite little season sweethearts, Tawny and Ollie. They hit the couch to deliver the other couple's weekly dose of relationship envy. Now, they talk about living together outside of this experiment and look like they have some great plans.
I feel, we've had a lot of discussions about, and I think particularly last night, I think there was a lot of, chat about people moving, and that's always kind of been something we've had in the back of our minds because obviously we're very far apart from each other. But I think for me, it's combining our lives, and how that would look.
This is something that we've been thinking about. Not big on the long distance. I don't really want to do the long distance. Like, I want to be there, and I feel based on my career, I can make that move here.
But you are actually imagining how it would be.
Yeah.
It's such an important step because if you can imagine it, then of course you can then live it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, he even revealed that he figured out the nuts and bolts of his career and is willing to move to Sydney so he can be with Tawny every day. Now, we finna do that name that feeling game asked by Alessandra. So are they falling in love?
Let's play the name that feeling game. Where are we in terms of how we're feeling this week?
Feeling really good. I think just feeling very safe, feeling really comfortable, just me having strong feelings. I think love is a bit too soon to say, to be honest.
Would you say you're in the process of falling in love?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Ditto.
So yes, they admit they are in the process of falling in love, and Ollie actually said ditto, and yes, they also decided to stay. So next up is Lindo and Cameron. Now, you know they say couples that look alike usually go the long haul. And Lindo and Cameron, yeah, they are matching their hairstyle. So I'm guessing that could be a good sign. Now, Lindo says that the retreat reminded her of their honeymoon. And she definitely noticed Cameron being in the outdoors leaked happiness into the relationship. Cameron admits that he has strong feelings for Lindo, and they're growing stronger and stronger every day. And he feels that they are very much moving into the next phase of their relationship. The only thing, though, that concerns him is what will happen after the experiment, because they lived in two completely different lives. And the two decided to stay, ready to tackle on the hard and tough conversations that might follow in the weeks to come. So let's talk about Bronte and Harrison. And I think we've all went through it watching the highs and lows of this couple's relationship unfold this past week. And they were very loved up at the beginning of the week, that whole dramatic retreat, Harrison dumping Bronte over the text, the dinner party storm out. I mean, it was just so much over the past week. And then Bronte says that hearing people say that Harrison is emotionally manipulating her was also hard. Melinda talked about the seeds of doubt being planted by Harrison between her and Leighton. However, he has a response in regards to what everybody is saying. Are you being manipulative, Harrison?
I really reject the notion that I've ever manipulated Bronte. That comment really, it just really offended me. Like I've actually never heard that before. I really struggled with that because the relationship's been very real for me.
So what's the problem?
Like, I've noticed there has been a theme in the experiment where Bronte does get worked up and emotional, and she maybe exaggerates.
What we're seeing here is the relationship issues are Bronte's. A question. What behaviours do you think you do in this relationship that create problems?
I don't know. Genuinely.
So Harrison says that he don't know what he contributes in the problems with the relationship, and Harrison confirms that he doesn't think he contributes to the relationship problems at all. And at that point, the experts pretty much throw their hands up in the air and think that they need to actually bring back somebody to help them with Harrison. They were completely exhausted from this couch session, and the experts asked for a decision. Harrison stays, and Bronte isn't ready to let this go, and she also decides to stay. And also, too, Lindo spoke up on behalf of her friends, sitting in disbelief, saying that Bronte is being emotionally manipulated. And despite everyone nodding their heads in agreement with Lindo, Bronte disagrees and doubled down on her decision to stay. These two are playing the game. They're both being fake. They're just getting along to get through this process. And you know what? Other cast members, they should know this. They know these two are just here just to be here. Moving on, let's talk about Evelyn and Rupert. Now, the experts noticed that there's a little bit of physical comfortability between Evelyn and Rupert, and it seems this week they progressed a whole lot more. Now, while they haven't gone all the way with an adult hug, as Rupert would call it, they both admit that they're sexually attracted to each other and maybe even seeing each other in the buff.
We're comfortable in the fact that, like, you know, when she's walking past, I'll slap her on the ass and that sort of thing.
That's something.
We are playful and flirty, but in regards to going all the way, I just want to, you know, have a bit more time, see how we go, gauge the situation a little more, and hope that things stay as lovely as it is right now.
You say you're not there with the physical, but where are you? Has it progressed to any kind of kissing? Do you guys touch? Do you hold hands? Do you cuddle at night? Like, what happens?
We've kissed a few times.
Like good kisses?
Yeah, I mean, I rate my kisses. Like, I think we've even seen each other, you know.
Naked.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's pretty risque, Evelyn.
So specific now, isn't it?
There hasn't been that adult hug or whatever, you know, but I think we are on the right path.
Evelyn, do you feel you're sexually attracted to Rupert right now?
Yeah, I do. I'm sexually attracted to Rupert because he's genuine, he's funny, and he's a gentleman.
How about you, Rupert?
Yeah, I'm sexually attracted to Evelyn, yeah.
Any particular time or at any time?
Could be any moment of the day. It's all good.
Excelente. That's very nice.
This couple have actually surprised me in this entire experiment. I didn't know what to expect with these two. Evelyn being so comfortable and Rupert being the opposite. Those two have pretty much gelled. And of course, having the best week that he's had on the experiment so far, Rupert decided to stay. Also does Evelyn. So next up is Melinda and Leighton, our two CEOs. Now they explain all that drama that unfolded with Harrison and Bronte during the retreat, and Melinda is happy with the way that Leighton fiercely defended her. And Leighton was like, look, I'm always gonna have Mel's back if I feel that she's being disrespected. Now while Melinda is happy that Leighton stepped up at that dinner party, she wishes that he had defended her earlier. Now Leighton says that's only because he's an analytical thinker. And on that note, the experts encourage him to be more in touch with his emotions. And with a bit of homework for the week, Leighton and Melinda choose to stay. And finally, Claire and Jessie. Now, while Jessie and Claire were making quite the comeback, the experts noticed a little bit of a shift in their whole dynamic. And the straw that pretty much broke the camel back was Harrison's comment about Claire only wanting to stay to protect her self-image, which Jessie had been admitting and kind of wrestling with before the commitment ceremony.
After what Harrison said, that Claire, she doesn't want to be seen by Australia as a cheater. So she wrote stay so she can repair her image. I'm waiting. Who and what do I believe? Like, is she stringing me along and using her voodoo just to kind of keep me here against my will? Or is Harrison this, like, mastermind, hypnotizing, emotional manipulator tactician taking advantage of me?
Yeah, I mean, for Jessie, it was tough to be reminded of the whole Claire and Adam kiss yet again. However, Claire reveals her high hopes for a future week of dates, moving back in and even getting more physically intimate. And she says that those plans were definitely ruined by Harrison's comment.
It seemed as though Harrison wanted to deflect off the pressure he may have been facing at the table. He first tried to derail Melinda and Leighton at the retreat. And when that kind of didn't work,
It was when you opened your mouth about our relationship.
I'm sorry, this is my turn to speak, so... when that didn't work, I think that he turned his sights on what may be potentially the weakest of the couples here in this group.
Harrison, what was your objective when you made the comment about their relationship at the dinner party?
Exactly the same objective I had when I was going to tell Jessie about the Adam affair, and that is that I felt like Jessie deserves to know the truth. And I heard a truth from Bronte, pure and simple.
What was the truth that Bronte told you about?
That Claire is essentially using Jessie's time in this experiment to reimage.
How do we know this to be true, to be fact?
I don't think Bronte would lie to me.
Know that it's true?
Correct.
Because what we're hearing tonight is that based on what you've heard, you've thrown a grenade into this relationship and blown it apart. Based on something that you're not 100% sure about. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my 2 cents on this, because there's accountability to go around in this entire situation. Number one, Claire, you should have never stepped outside and kissed another one of the wives' husband, as you are already in a relationship with Jessie. I understand. It was new. It was early. However, you did what you did. Number two, Harrison and Bronte getting involved in that. All of these couples have something to say. They probably shouldn't have been meddling. Okay, fine. Number three, Jessie. It was already a seed that was there. Harrison might have watered it, but it was already there. And that should have been a conversation that you should have had with Claire before the dinner party. She mentioned that. Jessie also mentioned that he'd been thinking about that all the while. Now, to put all of this on Harrison, I'm not sure. Yes, is he being messy? Both of them, Bronte and Harrison. And as I said earlier, I believe they're a fake couple. However, in regards to Jessie, if you truly want to be with Claire, it doesn't matter with what anybody wants to say. So obviously, he only reinforced or what they call confirmation bias, something that you really, truly felt. And having reached his limit, Jessie chooses to leave, and Claire doesn't want to make Jessie stay in a situation that he doesn't want to stay in, so she also writes leave. And Jessie admits that he wouldn't have wrote leave if it had been for Harrison's comment. You know what, Jessie, just stand 10 toes down in your decision. You know, don't let somebody or give them the power to show that they had a powerful message into influencing your decision. This is your decision and yours alone. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about our couples so far? What do you think about the Claire and Jessie situation? And yeah, we're coming up on the final 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other recaps and updates on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.